Voiceover is everywhere, and you hear it every day. From radio.
Number one for New Country 96.3 Hawkeye in the morning.
To TV.
Alpha, Readers Escape. Recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes.
To movies.
I see you have constructed a new lightsaber. Your skills are complete.
To animation.
And games, Spider-Man!
And so much more.
I don't want to grow up, 'cause baby, if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
Welcome to episode 20.
Welcome to Who Did That Voice, the show where we take an in-depth look at the world of voiceover, including movies, TV, animation, and more. And now, here's your host, Trenton Larkin.
When all hope seems lost.
Let's get out of here!
When heroes are needed more than ever. Our fate is in their paws.
A dog?
Actually, sir, I'm a puppy.
That's even worse.
You're in shock, so I'm not going to take that personally.
This summer,
Another perfect rescue.
the worldwide phenomenon will be unleashed on the big screen.
Paw Patrol, what's your emergency?
My name is Liberty. We need your help. Humdinger, he's going to destroy Adventure City.
Come on, pups. Adventure City's in trouble. Whoa! Welcome to our new headquarters. This is so cool. There's even a new and improved pup treat dispenser. What? It's a beautiful thing.
No dog. By order of the new mayor. He's more of a cat person.
Ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, influencers with over 10,000 followers. Time to light up the sky!
We've got to rescue those people. Let's get to work.
I need
Paw Patrol is on a roll. Are you kidding me?
I got this. Get out of the way! Move! You gotta know how to talk to people. Now go!
Let's kick the tires and fight some fires. Ryder cowboy! Motorcycle deploy! This is what we do. No city's too big. No pups too small. Deploy wedgie drone.
Woo, yikes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Who Did That Voice. Today on the show, I am very excited to be bringing you a very young actor who has just done a very awesome feature film. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Will Brisbin to the show.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Well, Will, I am super excited to get to chat with you, young man. You have a long career ahead of you, and we're going to dive into some fun stuff and kind of your background and the feature film that you were recently in that just came out. But before we do that, we love to get to know our guests. So tell me about little Will, the young boy that grew into the young man he is now, and how did you get into acting, bud?
Right, so way back when I was probably about 7 years old, so 9 years ago now, I began my journey, and I was always a super energetic kid, full of life. And my friend's mom told my mom that she should really think about putting me in some acting classes. It would be a good way to harness some of that energy, and it would be a lot of fun. I just fell in love immediately, and the time came for the Christmas show at my local theater, which was Oliver Twist the Musical. That was just where I caught the acting bug, and I never looked back. I remember crying when the show closed. I really just fell in love with the stage, and to this day, I still love doing theater, and I've adopted a love for film as well. I just love all of it. It's a super awesome process.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, to get the well-rounded aspect of acting, I think stage is one of the most challenging because you're doing it live. There's no, oh wait, can I retake that? It's like it's happening. It's just going, and you got to go with the flow, and it keeps you on your toes. That's for sure.
Totally, but that's the fun of it. It's always, you never know what's gonna happen. Night in, night out, it's always gonna be a different show, and I love that about it.
Yeah, and that is a great aspect of any stage production is that no one show is ever the same. Something
Totally.
comical could happen, something crazy. There's just endless opportunities for anything to go wrong or right or amazingly awesome, and it's fun because it definitely creates different memories through the same production.
Yeah, no kidding.
Will, I hear you are a movie buff. What would you say are your top 3 favorite movies of all time?
Oh, that's an easy question. My number 1 is Pulp Fiction, my number 2 is The Shawshank Redemption, and my number 3 is The Social Network.
Fantastic movies, man. And quite a diverse genre there, not very similar in any of those genres, really, which is kind of unique.
Right, yeah.
Well, those are all 3 really great films. But speaking of films, what was it like for you to land the leading role as Ryder alongside the all-star cast of Paw Patrol, the movie?
Oh, it was insane. It was a dream come true. It was really a long time coming from 2 years ago when I had the first audition to August 20th when I got to watch it in theaters. It was just really magical to see that whole process unfold. It was the best moments of my life. It was, I guess I would like to say, my big break. It was my first huge role, and it was just so much fun to be able to do what I love on such a big stage.
Oh, absolutely, man. To be in a feature film at such a young age, what an opportunity. And to be the lead already, super amazing start to the career. It came out, like you mentioned, August 20th in theaters and on Paramount Plus, right?
Yeah, only in the US though. I'm over here in Canada. I can't get it in Paramount Plus, but
What? That's so crazy. Why is that?
I just don't don't think Paramount Plus is available in Canada yet.
Okay.
Because I was looking for it. I wasn't even available on the App Store, which is weird. But yeah.
Is it in your theaters there though in Canada?
Yeah, I've watched it a few times in theaters with a bunch of different people who all wanted to go see it with me. So that was super
That's
fun.
awesome. So was there an official red carpet that y'all got to do for the show or?
Yeah, so the week before the 20th, I was in Toronto, Ontario. There was a red carpet, and I got to meet all of my Canadian co-stars, and we had a super fun day. Got to hang out with the directors. There was some mascots. So many kids were there, and yeah, it was just such an awesome experience, and yeah, really just a vibrant place.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully there will be more opportunities for you to be a part of the Paw Patrol family in the days ahead, in the future, in the years ahead, days and years ahead. There's a endless opportunity. That show's been around for so long and had so many adaptations through the show seasons as actors have grown and gone on to other productions, and they've hired new young kids and people to be in the show. So it's really awesome that you've gotten to land this leading role. And, hopefully even through the interaction you've had with Paw Patrol, it'll lead to some other great things with Paramount and the like, with them hiring you for Paw Patrol. Hopefully they'll bring you in for other projects in the future.
Totally, yeah. I'd love to do something with them again. It was all so amazing, such a great experience. Everybody was so awesome, and yeah, there's nothing I could give in the world that would make me not do it again.
That's awesome, man. So as an actor, there are many different ways you can act, and we kind of talked about a few on stage, on movies, on TV, and animation. Was voiceover something that you had previously considered, or was that something new to you when you landed the role of Ryder?
Yeah, so where I am, voiceover is not a huge market, so I'd never gotten a voiceover audition, let alone a role. So actually, Paw Patrol was my first voiceover audition, so when I got that one, I was shooting 100%. I was feeling pretty good. But
awesome.
Yeah, it was super awesome. I learned a lot of great lessons about character development, because I really, in a booth like so much smaller than my bedroom, I had to create emotion, and I had to be falling or create emotional connection with people and characters I couldn't even see. So it was super challenging, but it was a great lesson that I will keep with me forever.
So a lot of firsts, and that's amazing. That's super awesome, bud.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was super cool.
With your future, it literally holds endless opportunities. Since you are such a huge movie buff, what are 2 or 3 of the franchises or projects that you would absolutely love to be in or involved with one day in your acting career?
Well, I would love to be in anything by the likes of Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, any like mob movie would be cool. Obviously Star Wars. obviously,
Yeah.
Spider-Man, any of those. There's just so many. I couldn't really even give you my top 10 list because it's just endless for sure.
It is. And there's so many opportunities now in today's world in Hollywood than there ever have been. And, even in Canada, I mean, a lot of my actors that I've had on the show in the past have been Canadian, including the X-Men, the animated series cast. A lot of major voices come out of Canada, and so many people don't even realize that, because I didn't in the beginning. And it's amazing how much of an opportunity there is up there for you. So hopefully you'll get connected with more of the actors in the VO world, the voiceover world, so that you can do more projects in that realm, along with on-screen TV and who knows what else.
Yeah, totally. Because Toronto is a huge hub for voiceover. I know most of the actors in the show and the movie were from Toronto, all the Canadians, because that's where Paw Patrol is originally from. Spin Master is a Toronto-based company. So it was surprising to me. You always, when you think of big market shows like that, it's easy to assume it's US, but I was surprised and very proud to learn it was Canadian.
Well, you know what? What an amazing opportunity for you to work with a Canadian-based program, and for it to be your first VO audition and role and lead in a movie. I mean, you had a lot of firsts, like I mentioned before, and that can make a memory and a lasting impression on somebody that will never go away, because it was so many of your firsts in that realm, which is super cool.
Yeah, no kidding.
If you had a choice every time, would you tend to play the hero or the villain?
Oh, that's tough. Like, it depends who the villain is. Like, if it's a villain like Hans Landa or the Joker, any of the awesome, totally wicked villains, I would be the villain. But it's tough to say. It all depends on the context of the story, and the villain itself. Yeah, I'd honestly just love to play either.
So it would just kind of depend on the genre and who the villain was, as to opposed whether you'd pick the Batman versus the Joker kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. That would actually be a really tough one. Batman or the Joker. I do not know who I would pick.
Now, say it was like Joker versus Robin. I would think that would lean more probably towards the Joker, right?
Yeah, definitely the Joker.
But if you were up for both leads, Batman versus Joker, which one would you choose?
Well, it's tough to say. Joker's like arguably one of the greatest comic book characters of all time, but Batman's my favorite superhero. But a large part of the reason why Batman's my favorite superhero is because of the Joker. So I honestly wouldn't know who to pick.
That would be a really tough one. I know, because Batman has always been my absolute favorite, Batman and Superman growing up, which is funny because Marvel has created such an amazing world now that I am so attached to them.
Yeah, totally. Me too.
Batman and Superman were it for me growing up, because there were so many shows growing up, the old black and white Superman and, the old school Adam West Batman, from the 60s and 70s. So there were so many great DC shows growing up for me as a kid kind of the slapstick funny Batman that they had back then. I don't know if I would have chosen Batman, but today he's so much more than he ever was. And I don't know. I think I'd have to pick Batman, because we call him a superhero, but he's just a human that has amazing mental capacities and detective skills and the ability and finances to build and think up amazing crafting ideas for his tools and weapons. And it's like, he's called a superhero, but he really has nothing super about him except for his super intellect, really. But
yeah,
he is amazing.
Yeah, super awesome for sure.
So Will, with voiceover, are there other auditions that you've already tried for with voiceover, or was Paw Patrol it for now, or what do we have in the future? Is there anything we can talk about?
Since I got the role in the movie, I've definitely been opened up to a lot more voiceover opportunities. I've gotten probably 9 or 10 voiceover auditions since, and they've all been super cool projects. And yeah.
Out of a video game franchise that you're into, what kind of a character or game franchise would you like to voice for someday if you had the chance? Anything you could pick?
My all-time favorite video game franchise is like the Arkham franchise, nice. Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, stuff like that. But if I could be a voice in any game, that's tough. I feel like it would be fun. One of the Spider-Man games, a GTA game would be fun. Those are always fun. The voice actors, it's very easy now that I've done voice acting, I have a tendency when I'm watching animated stuff, I'm like, oh, this guy's having fun. I know when they're having fun, and playing that game, I always know they're having fun. They just sound so full of life, and I feel like it would be a super cool experience to get to be a part of that game.
Absolutely. I think those are great franchises. I think anything Marvel would be amazing. I could see you playing a Spider-Man one day. That would be a pretty cool role.
Yeah, that would be the dream for sure.
Right, to work with Sony and Disney, and because I know it's Sony, but I know there's kind of a tie-in with Disney, but it is really Sony. But I mean, anything Marvel realistically would be amazing, because there's so much opportunity in that you could play Spider-Man when you're younger and Iron Man when you're older. I mean, it could just be never ending, honestly.
Totally.
As a young actor, what kind of advice would you give to your fellow peers who are aspiring to become actors themselves?
Right. So I would say the first step in your journey is get into live theater. It gets you comfortable performing in front of people, develops great social skills. It's great on the resume. It's a great into the industry, and you just develop lifelong friends. Like, I still talk to people from shows that it was in close to 10 years ago. So yeah, I would say that's the first step, and then you can just grow and learn from there.
That's awesome, man. So when you got into acting on the stage, was that, you fell in love with Oliver, you loved doing the production, and then was it something you were like, hey, mom and dad, I really love this, I want to continue doing it, and they helped you find an agent? Or how did all that play out and work out for you in the end?
So basically, after Oliver, I started taking more classes at my city's professional theater. So I was taking their youth classes. And then one day they said that I should audition for A Christmas Carol, which is the yearly production that all the kids are in and stuff. And it's one of the only times where they get to build a youth ensemble. So I auditioned for that, and I got the role of Tiny Tim. And so it was my first taste of, the professional life. I had a lot of fun. And to this day, my best memories of acting, and I could even say life, come from my Christmas Carol days. Unfortunately, I'm too old to do it anymore. I can't do it again until I'm 18, but I will always fondly remember those days. And then after I got into professional theater, then I got an agent, and then I got into film and TV, and I've just been growing from there.
That's fantastic, man. For you to be able to play Tiny Tim on stage, I know that kind of has to be the thing where whenever you think about it, it kind of puts you into that holiday mood, that holiday spirit, and probably just brings back a lot of warm and happy memories for you.
Yeah, totally. It was perfect around the Christmas time. It started in November and finished the day before Christmas Eve. So it was just like, you're, as a kid, you're itching for Christmas to come. You can't wait. So that was just like, every day I went to the theater, it was like, oh my God, Christmas is here 2 months early.
That's awesome. Yeah. Getting to live out Christmas Day every day for 6 weeks or so.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. As a kid, that was the dream.
That is awesome, man. So what is it like? I know you have some siblings, right? How many siblings are in your family?
Right. So I have a sister who's 14 and a brother who just turned 10.
Okay. So have they caught the acting bug, or is it just something that you've got right now?
My brother's always been, he's always been super energetic and full of life, and he would be perfect in the acting game, but he's always just been super into sports, and he really likes acting, like when he's gotten a few opportunities and he's really liked it, but it's just easy to see baseball, hockey, that's his love. And the same with my sister. She's super into soccer. Yeah, she's playing super high level, and so both of them playing high level. They couldn't, even if they wanted to, have time to fit in acting, but yeah, their first love is sports for sure.
Well, all I'll say to that is at least they haven't caught the acting bug and created a competition for you.
Yeah, that's nice. I haven't had to compete at all. So,
well, that's awesome that they're so much into their love of sports. You also are a big sports fan yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm super into hockey. I watch all of the NHL games. My favorite team is the Boston Bruins. I'm also super into baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays. But yeah, those are my two main sports. I used to play both, but now I'm a strict fan.
Will, I have one final question for you, and we will wrap this interview up. Are you ready, bud?
Yes, sir. Lay it on me.
What is the legacy that you want to leave behind? When you're 60 or 80 years old from now and you've retired, what is the legacy you want to leave behind?
That is a fantastic question. Wow. So definitely, I hope that this movie is just a stepping stone for me to continue doing what I love. I'd love to get so many more opportunities to work on my craft, just do the thing I love. If I could make a profession out of acting, wake up and my job every day is my passion, that would be so cool. But as for my legacy, I'd really love to, be remembered as an accomplished actor. I'd love people to, watch back movies I've been in and be like, wow, that guy's really good. That would be the dream. And then I also want to get into writing and directing as well. I've always been into writing. I've written some screenplays and stuff. Nothing too good, but yeah, definitely when I'm older, directing and writing is definitely something I want to branch into, and give that a shot for sure.
That's fantastic. I think acting is always the stepping stone, I think, initially into the world of entertainment. And I've seen so many people, from people on shows like Smallville that were actors who then directed an episode and then fell in love with it and they write. But, your writings now, are the stepping stones into your feature films that you design in the future for Marvel or Disney or whoever, because you got to start somewhere and continue to build the craft in whatever form it is, whether it's acting, writing, directing. So I applaud you for those dreams. And hopefully we'll see some amazing things from you in the future as your career continues to blossom. And I hope you'll come back and be on the show when we have some more things we can chat about.
Yeah, that would be super cool. I'd love to come back and talk. This has been super fun.
Well, man, I am so glad you were able to give me some of your valuable time to chat with us. It's been a pleasure. And, Will, before we close out, would you give us a special closeout as Ryder from Paw Patrol, the movie?
Totally. Hey, everyone. This is Ryder from Paw Patrol the movie, and you've just listened to another awesome episode of Who Did That Voice? This has been Will Brisbin on Who Did That Voice.
Hey everyone, and thanks so much for listening to today's episode of Who Did That Voice? If you enjoyed today's episode, please check us out online on all social media platforms at Who Did That Voice and on YouTube at Who Did That Voice 24. Also, remember to check out our website, whodidthatvoice.org. Again, that's www.whodidthatvoice.org. Thank you to all my listeners out there. I just wanted to say, if you want to partner with Who Did That Voice, just telling your friends and family about us is the best way to share the show with others, and or leaving us a review on Apple Podcast or wherever you get your podcast from. The third and final way is by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/Who Did That Voice.
Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time for more discoveries on Who Did That Voice.